Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I am going to be going over 3 different buffed moneymakers thanks to Necromancy. So since the announcement of Necromancy and the whole reveal, they also released a list of items that will be used with the skill. And due to that, the price of some of these items have skyrocketed, and I'm going to be going over some methods so you can capitalize on that and profit off of it. I will be putting timestamps in the description to each of the 3 methods, so if you guys want to just check that out and jump between each method, you can definitely do that. But anyway, let's just start off with our first method. So the first method is going to be Frost Dragons. So one of the items that was on the Necromancy list was just bones in general. And Frost Dragon Bones was one of the bones on the list, and those are the ones that I would recommend going for. You could kill things like Eruts or Wyverns, either skeleton Wyverns or living Wyverns, and you could kill, dragons or get the Dragonkin bones, dinosaur bones, and all that. But the Frost Dragon Bones seem to be one of the best. It's always been a really good moneymaker, but now the price is up about 30%. So Frost Dragon Bones, they're selling for right around 40k per bone. And if you do have all of the right items, like the upgraded Bone Crusher and the Death Note Relic, you can make well over 15 mil per hour. For me personally, I don't have the upgraded Bone Crusher, but I do have the Death Note Relic, so my GP per hour would be a bit less. I would estimate it around 12 mil GP per hour. But if you do have all of the requirements, you can make that 15 mil per hour. So as mentioned, you will want the Death Note Relic. It is extremely helpful, especially if you combine it with the upgraded Bone Crusher. Because with that, it will automatically bring the bones to your inventory. You don't have to walk around and go get them. And if you combine that with the Death Note Relic, they're going to be noted, and essentially you'll just have to kill the Frost Dragon Bones as fast as you can. You don't have to walk around and pick up the bones because they'll automatically go to your inventory noted. So if you have those two things, this method is insane. It's just a matter of how many Frost Dragons you can kill per hour. So Frost Dragons are located in the Asgarnia Ice Dungeon, and that's just located south of the port of Sarah Lodestone. You will need level 85 Dungeoneering to enter the resource dungeon in here, so that is one requirement. But Frost Dragons, they don't have very much health. They're fairly easy to kill, so they are good from that point of view. They do use the Fire Breath since they are a dragon, so you might want to bring, super anti-fire or anti-fire, something like that. You can see I didn't bring any here, but you probably should just in case. You can kill them quite fast, so quite often you'll kill them before they even use that attack. But it would be good to have, just in case. So once you enter the resource dungeon, you'll see just a bunch of Frost Dragons. You can just start killing them. They are fairly spread out, so that is one bonus with the upgraded Bone Crusher. But otherwise, they're extremely easy to kill. They only have 8,500 health, so you should be able to kill them in a few seconds. Personally, I recommend using ranged or magic just because you have you don't have to run to each one. You have that ranged attack, but it is entirely up to you. The method is pretty simple. You're just going to be killing the Frost Dragon Bones. They don't have any special attacks or anything, just the Dragon Fire attack. So it is it's a pretty easy, fairly simple method. Next we have smelting Bane Bars. This is one of my favorite methods that I uncovered. You will need level 80 smithing to do the method. However, level 81 smithing is highly recommended. It gives you the 10% bonus chance at creating an extra bar, and then level 89 smithing gives you you actually make the bars 50% faster. So that is also highly recommended and will increase your GP per hour a ton. You will want at least 20 mil coins. That's just to buy the Baneite bars. About 20 mil coins will buy you almost 4,000 bars. So, that should do you about an hour. You will want the Superheat Form Curse. So that does require level 91 Prayer and the Light Within quest. And that will just make it so you smelt the bars a bit faster. But you can see I just tested this out on the Grand Exchange before actually doing the method. So I was able to buy 2 Bane Bars for about 5,300 GP each. And then I was able to buy a Bane Bar for about 14k each. So that's almost a 4k profit per bar, which is really great. You have that 10% chance of doubling the bar at level 81. So, you know, that's essentially over a 4k profit per bar. You're able to make about 2,148 bars per hour, give or take, depending on, you know, some of the gear that I'll go over. But that is, you know, right around 9 mil per hour, maybe 10 mil if you have a little bit of the other items required that I'll go over. So making Bane Bars is quite simple. You'll want to just deposit your Baneite ore into the furnace. And you can see I have 5,000 Baneite ore in here. You can just click on that and you can start smelting the Bane Bars. You notice I will be able to smelt 60 of them at a time. That's because I have the smelting gauntlets, which is it's a quest reward from the Family Crest quest. So that's something you will definitely want. It makes the method much more AFK. But you can see still I'm getting over a minute of AFK time. Another thing you will really want is the Superheat Form Curse. So that does require level 91 prayer to use. You need to have curses from the Temple of Senesin quest. But it's highly recommended to have this curse. So you can see, I'll just turn it off for a few seconds here. You can see how much slower it takes to smelt a bar when it's off. But then you turn it on and it really speeds it up. So highly recommended. You'll be able to smelt, I think it's you know, at least 500 or 1,000 bars extra per hour, something like that. So it increases your GP per hour a ton. So if you have that, if you have the smelting gauntlets, then you will be able to make the 9 mil GP per hour. Another thing that I have that some people might not is the modified blacksmith's helmet. So it's something that isn't required, but it does give you an extra 1% chance to make an extra bar. So that, on top of level 81 smithing, will give you an 11% chance to smelt an extra bar. If you just have the 81 smithing, you'll have the 10% chance. And you can see in the chat box, I'm smelting some extra bars here. So you're not only getting the 3k profit per bar, because you're buying the ore for you know, around 11k, and selling the bars for around 14k. But it's also these extra bars. So every time I make an extra Bane bar, that's an extra 14k profit. So that's why this method is so great. You're making a ton of profit off the bars themselves, but also you're making the extra ones, which is just the pure profit and makes it extremely worth it. And so the next buffed moneymaker is Krill, and Krill is buffed because actually the subjugation armor that Krill drops was put on the list for items that will be used through Necromancy. So, you know, I would probably anticipate you needing maybe a set of it to maybe upgrade the Necromancy armor or something like that. But nevertheless, subjugation armor has gone up in price because of that. So Krill is a pretty good moneymaker. It can actually be AFK too, and I did make an AFK guide on Krill a while ago. But some requirements for Krill include 70 Constitution and Troll Stronghold. That's just to basically have access to Krill. You will want 70 plus magic. If you do have the Inquisitor staff, that is helpful. And then another item that I find is recommended is the Demon Horn Necklace and the Attuned Ectoplasmator. This makes it so Krill is AFK. It'll basically give you unlimited prayer, which is amazing. Then you can use, you know, the Vampirism Aura just to help you with health as well. But doing this method should make you around 7 mil per hour. It can be, you know, somewhat AFK. It is a combat method, so you do need to watch out for your health. It is somewhat AFK and pretty good GP per hour. So now taking a look at the inventory setup,
I did highlight some of the most important items. As I mentioned, the Demon Horn Necklace and the Attuned Ectoplasmider are probably the most important items. Now also the Penance Aura, I find this is the best aura to use because you will be regaining prayer points as you are fighting the boss. Essentially, this will give you unlimited prayer points with the Attuned Ectoplasmider and Demon Horn Necklace regaining prayer points from scattering those ashes. With the addition of the Penance Aura, you basically have unlimited prayer, which makes this method really AFK. Alternatively, if you don't have the Penance Aura or you would like to use a different one, you can switch it out. Another good one is Vampirism Aura. It will regain some health, which is also really great. But even if you don't have the Penance Aura active, you will almost have unlimited prayer. You will need to bring 1 or 2 prayer pots just for emergencies. However, the Demon Horn Necklace will almost give you max prayer if you are using Soul Split as well as Torment. As you can see in my staff slots, I do have the Inquisitor's Staff. This is effective against Krill, since Krill is a melee based boss. You will get the damage buff for the Inquisitor's Staff. Now if you don't have this, it isn't really an issue. You can just use your best magic weapon. Noxious Staff works really well. You could also use tier 80 or 85 magic weapons also. For the gear, you want to make sure that you don't have really high level gear because Krill is a pretty easy boss to kill, so you want to minimize some of those costs. As you can see, I'm just using Subjugation. I also have my Pernix body on, and this is because it is augmented and has the Venom Blood perk. Krill will poison you, so having the Venom Blood perk is super helpful because the poison will take away your life points and it will just make this method a little bit less AFK. You'll need to really watch your health a little bit more frequently if you don't have this. In my rune pouch, as you can see, I have my air, fire, and blood runes. I'm going to be using Blood Barrage since that also does heal you a little bit, and it is a really high magic spell. So just use the strongest magic spell you can. Blood Barrage is a really great one just because it does have that healing effect as well. As for my action bar, you can use something somewhat similar to mine. As you can see, I do have Sunshine right at the start of the bar. I am using full revolution, allowing my ultimate abilities and threshold to be activated automatically as well. So with this action bar, it is really great for AFKing because you won't need to use any abilities. Basically, the only thing you need to do for this method is going to be picking up the drops and renewing your overloads. Aside from that, it is going to be fully AFK, which is really awesome. As I mentioned, you are going to be getting some moss kills, some marks of war, as well as a decent 4 to 5 mil per hour. So now moving on to the actual kill, I just want to show you guys that this is fully AFK. I'm literally not going to touch a thing for a few minutes here, and you guys are going to see that my health stays really high. Sometimes it does get below about 5,000. That is because Krill does have a special attack. If you are using prayers or curses, and that special attack can deal 4,000 or 5,000 damage. However, you will heal up to 10,000 with Soul Split active before he does use that special attack again.
A few other things that would be quite helpful for this method is having either the Persistent Rage Relic, or you can have the upgraded Infernal Puzzle Box, and that's just because you will be out of combat at some points. You can, set Krill to spawn at the fastest spawn speed, but you will go out of combat. So if you have one of those two items, you won't be losing any adrenaline outside of combat, which is quite helpful for the method. Now, as mentioned, a lot of the items from or that Krill does drop have been buffed because the announcement of Necromancy. So all of the Subjugation armor, they're selling for quite a bit. The Subjugation gown is actually selling for over 10 mil. And then Krill does have a few okay common drops. You will be getting some blood runes, which is okay. You'll also get some Wine of Zamorak, some death runes, and things like that. But most of the money is going to be coming from the Subjugation armor. And so anyway, guys, those are the 3 methods that I wanted to go over. Each one of them are really good GP per hour, much more than normal. So definitely take advantage while the price of these items are much higher. Some of these methods are really great. I think my favorite would be the Bane Bar method, just because it is quite AFK. With Krill, it kind of depends on your luck for the subjugation armor drops. So that one isn't as consistent as the other two, but still it can be quite good. And if you're looking for the Golden Cape shards, you will have a chance at the bossing shard and the combat shard if you do that method, and you're looking towards getting the Golden Cape. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you found this video helpful. And if you did, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more RuneScape 3 content. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.